So before you started Reportive, there was also another product that you built and sold called Mojo. And I don't know if many people know about that, but was that your kind of first step into entrepreneurship? And I know you said you knew early on that you wanted to be a founder. How did you know so early? You know, the Mojo thing, was that kind of like the first step to getting there?
Great question. How does one know whether you should be a founder? I mean, I just knew. It's kind of in the blood. I had this urge and this desire to create. I think I'm a natural salesperson. I really enjoy vibing with other people and telling them about what we're doing and how it's going to entertain the hell out of them or change their lives or save them 3 hours or more every single week. Really depends what the thing is. And I was just kind of doing this as a kid naturally. And I think that for me is a pretty strong sign that starting a company was a sensible path, or as sensible as very not sensible path can be. Now, you need more than that, of course. You can't just have an urge to create and be good at creating and selling. You also have to have grit. You need to have persistence. There's a whole bunch of other personality traits that go into being a successful founder. But the long and short of it is, I just knew as a teenager that that was how I was wired and that was what I was going to do. In terms of Mojo, it was, by a long way, not my first entrepreneurial endeavor, but it was the first that we raised money for. So I was around 21, 22 years old, I want to say. And this took place in Cambridge in England. I had just left what I was doing at the university, which was also pretty interesting. I was running Cambridge University Entrepreneurs. I then joined a friend of mine to co-found this company, Mojo. And actually in that scenario, he was the CEO and I was the CTO. Ever since, I've always taken the CEO role. So for Mojo, we raised a very small amount of angel funding, probably around $50,000. But when you're two basically students living in a town like Cambridge, that goes a really, really long way. And we learned a tremendous amount. We ran the company, we grew it. We ended up selling the product to Cancer Research UK, which is the largest cancer charity, one of the largest in the world. And but the National Ordnance Survey, they are the organization that actually creates maps, and all of the use cases that you might imagine maps are useful for. The word ordnance is in the name of the organization, of course. And so we were helping both of those companies run their business creation processes based on the products that we'd made. Ultimately, it wasn't a particularly successful company. We were unable to get it to scale. It ended up becoming more of a consultancy than a product company. And so at about 2 years in, we decided to move on to our next things.